thousands of years ago, they were Apollo, Zeus, Ares. Now they are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other heroes and villains of DC and Marvel Comics. Join us every week as we discuss the legendary stories, characters, concepts, and other parts of comics as we examine the modern pantheon of heroes. Let's get heroic. Welcome to Under Two Capes, the podcast for the comic book fan. Well, what a week for news. My name is Jared, and this is Under Two Capes News, the only news channel connected to the Under Two Capes podcast. So let's get into it. So recently, so in light of the Warner Media merger, they made like a lot of announcements concerning like future projects. So first thing that I saw announced that like gave me hope was the idea when they said they're making an Injustice animated movie, which right here looks amazing. Well, this is the clips from the game, but it says here in a sneak announcement, Warner Brothers Home Entertainment has revealed a feature-length animated movie based on the popular Injustice storyline is in the works. You know, the one where Superman becomes evil and tries to kill someone. Which, if they're willing to do that, stands to wonder that maybe they're willing to give Zack the rest of the money to do, or the authorization to do the other two movies. I mean, come on, guys. You did it once, you can do it two more times. Just do two more. So there's gonna be a preview in it when the Long Halloween Part 2 comes out. And it's gonna be an advanced look. And let's see. Okay, so in the video game, Joker tricks Superman to killing Lois Lane and accidentally destroying Metropolis with a nuclear bomb. After that, Superman becomes a tyrant and Batman becomes the leader of a resistance in an effort to end Superman's regime. The plot, of course, serves as the main inspiration for Zack Snyder's nightmare sequences in Batman v Superman and his cut of Justice League. Should just say Justice League. In the film version, Lois's death at the hands of Darkseid and Batman's inability to stop it leaves Superman susceptible to the anti-life equation, making him Darkseid's puppet as he takes over the Earth. So basically, more or less that way, like I said yesterday on the Snyder episode, I like when they take like the main parts of a storyline, tweak it a little bit to fit what they want to do, but still keep the essence of it. Like the essence of Injustice is Lois dies and Superman becomes a villain. That's it. That's really it. And Batman leads the resistance. So they have that, which I'm very appreciative of. I'm very appreciative that they included that. All right, let's move on to next. It's still unclear whether the Injustice movie will adapt the story of the video games or a popular prequel series by Tom Taylor, but the possibility of either one is exciting enough for fans. Yeah, I'm super pumped for this. I would even be pumped if they made another storyline in this universe, like if they maybe made it a sequel to the games, to Injustice 2. Probably won't do that because they want fans to be able to like latch onto it because it is the first Injustice movie, but I am optimistic. I'm very optimistic. So let's see. It's unclear whether, okay, so in the meantime, you can watch the advanced look at Injustice when the Batman Long Halloween Part 2 drops July 27th. Oh, that soon? Yes. I'm so excited. I'm definitely gonna check that out. So next, we have a new Batman animated series from J.J. Abrams, yuck, Matt Reeves, awesome, and Bruce Timm, even more awesome, coming to HBO Max. Yes. It's going to be in the spirit of Batman the Animated Series. Oh, yes, please. HBO Max and Cartoon Network have announced that Batman Caped Crusader, a new animated series that reimagines the Batman mythology, has received a straight-to-series order. The new series is executive produced by J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, and Bruce Timm, who developed Batman the Animated Series. Bruce Timm. Yes. The first image from Batman of the Caped Crusader is certainly reminiscent of Batman the Animated Series, showing the brooding Batman looking over Gotham City. Tom Ashlam, the president of Warner Brothers Global Kids, Young Adults, and Classics, says Batman Caped Crusader will entertain first-time and die-hard fans alike. And with such an impressive creative team in place, we know we have another future Batman classic in the works. I'm very optimistic about this. It looks dope. It'll also be produced by Warner Brothers Animation, Bad Robot Productions, and Idaho. Okay, so Abrams, Reeves, and Tim said about the new series, we are beyond excited to be working together to bring this character back to tell engrossing new stories in Gotham City. This series will be thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of Batman's noir roots. I'm excited about that. That'd be pretty cool. While diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters, we cannot wait to share this world. That's great. Okay, the Caped Crusader does not have an announced premiere date yet, but this is likely to be one of the most exciting animated projects to watch out for in HBO Max. Yes, 100%. Yes. The very fact that they got Bruce Timm involved, yes, 100%, that he's one of the creatives involved in this gives me like a little more confidence, because he's not gonna, because if he puts his name onto it and he's marketing it as like a spiritual like embodiment of the previous show, he's not gonna allow it to like downgrade. So I'm more than cautiously optimistic. I'm very optimistic about this series. It looks dope. It's about time we got another Batman animated series too. So our next story that we're going to cover is one that I'm very cautiously more toward disoptimistic, but we'll see what happens. My Adventures with Superman, HBO Max release day, cast, plot, what we know so far. So it looks like Jack Quaid, who played Huey in The Boys, in The Boys is that really amazing superhero show on Amazon, mature audiences only, that examines what happens if the superheroes were really the bad guys. So it's really cool. He plays the one normal character in that show. Okay, so Jack Quaid has got his hands on another superhero franchise, voicing Superman in the upcoming My Adventures with Superman. So they're obviously making him young, so that's cool. Definitely a different feel than the hardcore rated R story of The Boys. The new Superman show will focus on 20-something Clark Kent at the start of his superhero career as he falls in love with the talented journalist Lois Lane. Okay. At their side is also their friend Jimmy Olsen, a rising photographer in Metropolis. With an official 2-season order, that is ambitious. My Adventures with Superman will be joining the ranks of the critically acclaimed DC animated series like Harley Quinn, Young Justice, and Batman the Animated Series, all of which are currently available to watch on HBO Max. The upcoming Superman series was just announced, so there's not too much information out yet, but here's everything we do know. All right. As the announcement of the series gets into order was just announced, it's hard to guess when season 1 will premiere. The timeline for the recent Harley Quinn animated series is a good blueprint for what fans should expect. When Harley Quinn was announced in 2017, Kaylee Cuoco's casting as the title character was only released to the public in October of 2018. All right. While My Adventure with Superman hasn't released any footage yet, the still image, along with the casting announcements for both Kent and Lane, means that the series is likely already in production or starting soon. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to skip down to that. Who is the cast? Okay, so we got Jack Quaid, who plays Huey Campbell in The Boys. So I know he has some superhero experience, so I'm cool with that. Alongside Ken is his Love Lane, voiced by Alice Lee. The actress currently plays Emily in Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. It has previously been in comedies like Sierra Burgess is a Loser, and Brittany Runs a Marathon. This will be her first voice job. There's been no other casting announcements yet, whether for Olsen or any other characters, but fans should expect to hear more in the coming months. So here's Clark Kent, Lois Lane, and Jimmy Olsen. The new series will focus on Kent, Lane, and Olsen as they live out their 20s in Metropolis, adjusting to being adults and figuring out who they want to be. That's an interesting perspective on that. According to the official synopsis, the series will follow Clark as he builds a secret Superman identity and embraces his role as the hero of Metropolis and perhaps the world. Lois, now growing into a star investigative journalist, takes aspiring photographer Jimmy Olsen under her wing. All the while, Clark and Lois are falling in love, sharing adventures, taking down bad guys, stumbling over secrets, and discovering what it means to be Superman and Lois Lane. The president of Warner Brothers Animations and Cartoon Network Studios, Sam Register, highlighted how this is the first animated series in many years. That's true, because the last time Superman had an animated series was Superman the Animated Series. So the bar is pretty high That series was fantastic. You may even do like a series of stories talking about the series because that's so good. First time, so they want to tell the Superman story through these three characters. That's cool. That's definitely cool. The family-friendly adventure comedy showcasing the friendship between these three characters as they find their place in Metropolis in the world. That's cool. I'll check that out. It would be very cool if this is like the new animated universe, like they have that, and then they have Batman. Probably won't do that, but we'll see. Now, you may be wondering, which of these am I the most excited for? If I had to pick one of these, it would be the Injustice movie. Because those of you that know me know I'm a huge Injustice fan. Very good at Injustice myself. I asked Tyler or Lad. They will tell you that. Next, honestly, my level of excitement goes in the order of I showed these stories. The only reason why, as a big Superman fan, I know you can't tell because of the shirt, only reason why I'm not so necessarily optimistic about the Superman and Lois show is just because Cartoon Network doesn't really is. I don't know. It's kind of sketchy, but we'll see. There's not a lot of information out on these shows yet, and they don't even have a trailer yet. So I'll wait. I'll make my judgment on it based on the trailer when they inevitably release it. And when I get more information, but I'll be watching it. I'll definitely be watching the crap out of the Batman series because that looks amazing. About time we got another It was kind of funny. We get another Superman and Batman series, and that's what happened in the '90s. You had the Batman and the Superman series. So it'd be very interesting if they're trying to build another animated continuity. That's why I brought that up. And it's like they could make Batman like the oldest member of the Justice League. And then like he recruits the others to fight like whatever the bad guy's going to be. And I'm wondering, it looks like the cowl on the Batman. Let me share my screen again so I can show you guys this. The cowl on the Batman kind of looks like the Batman from Matt Reeves, the Pattinson Batman cowl. So it could be taking place in that world too. That'd be kind of cool if they had an animated series to complement the Matt Reeves movie. But I don't know. We'll see. We have a lot of very interesting shows to watch. Now, you may be wondering, so what about this merger too? So here's another important thing. I'm going to Google this one thing. Here's a reason to be optimistic about the Snyder Cut, because all right, well, anyway, so here's what I wanted to show you. So recently, recently with the whole what is it? With the whole merger, the new CEO has been making comments. Warner Bros. Has been making comments about their excitement for all the content we're getting in the future. Interestingly enough, they now acknowledge that the Snyder Cut was a success, and the CEO of the new company basically said, "Hey, listen, guys, we want to have lots of exclusive content to draw you to our streaming services, whether it be HBO Max or Discovery Plus." So I'd imagine Zach can just roll on in there and say, because he's 100% voiced many times, I have a full story planned out. I have this whole SnyderVerse planned out. Just give me the green light and I will take care of it. And then trust me, if they restore the SnyderVerse and just put it on HBO Max, that would be so great, because they would have the content. They have because they have solid content, solid DC content. Lad and I spent 3 weeks talking about the Snyder Cut. Solid content that can be exclusive to HBO Max. Just say, we're just going to put on HBO Max. That's it. That way we can have a lot of fun. That way they can have their stuff and we can just have the HBO Max stuff. It can exist together. And if they want to, they can throw it in the movie theaters occasionally for like a big cinematic event. But we'll see what they do, because I'm still maintaining hope that they probably will restore the Snyderverse, especially now because you have more because you have more statements from like the new CEO, particularly the one saying, hey, we definitely want to have like exclusive content, and we're going to mend bridges with creatives that we may have angered or something like that. So more and more it looks like eventually we'll get it. Once again, like I said yesterday, just have to wait a second because the deal is going to take a while if it doesn't fall apart. And if it's authorized, it's going to take Zach time to like cross the T's and dot his I's, because he has to make sure like everyone has space in their schedule, all the actors. Because remember, Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and like all the other guys are like big actors now. He has to make sure he can use Cyborg because of the whole Ray Fisher thing. But Ray said 100% he's on. So we have that. And there's a lot of logistical stuff that has to be like fleshed out. But I'm still optimistic that maybe in a year or two, or maybe sooner, they could have been working on this for so long and just decided to just announce it soon. Well, let me put it this way: if they announce it, I will be so happy, and obviously I will cover it on this show. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this news segment. Join us tomorrow when we do tomorrow or this weekend as we discuss comic books on the Under Two Capes podcast. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe for other great shows like this new show, Halo, Star Wars, Under Two Capes, and all your Snyder information. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next episode. See you all next week.